Hello and welcome to another episode of Farming Simulator 25. As you can see, we have moved into September and we are going into a new month. Wow. Nope. Wow. That absolutely sucks. There is nothing in there for us to do. So we need to get straight into some jobs today, and there's nothing appearing yet. Let's that is not good. Have we got any there must be some other jobs gotta come up. That's a round bale. I can't do a round bale. I can't do liming. Mowing is not a great paying contract. Spraying, can't take grass. Right, so I need like a cultivating contract or something. Oh, there is a cultivating contract. Field. Wow, there we go. £20,000. We are going straight in with the cultivating. Now, the reason why we're getting straight into today's episode, guys, is because I'm still hoping to buy a field today. And yeah, we're not going to buy a field if we don't get a good contract and a good amount of money. I was kind of hoping there would be a really good paying contract come up in the shop today, and out of all of them, that's probably the best one. It's probably not the quickest to do. Definitely worth like doing a couple of like mowing contracts or fertilizing and stuff, but we have done a lot of those lately, the fertilizing. So yeah, we're going to get straight into a very big cultivating. Sorry, I am concentrating. I'm also feeling a little bit rushed today because I've got to record 2 episodes today, which is not like me at the moment, but okay, so we're going all the way down there to that one. Okie dokie. So we've got to go along the road and down the main road. Yeah, I've got my dog in the vets. Well, if you're watching this video, I've got my dog in the vets today. But for me, obviously, recording this video, it's only Thursday. My dog is in the vets at 10 o'clock on Friday. So I don't have time to be doing a video tomorrow, which would technically be Monday. So I've got to I've either got to squeeze the video in today or I have to do it over the weekend ready for Monday. So yeah, bit of a weird one, but yeah, I've got the wife's car in the garage at 8. I've got the dog at the vets at 10. Yeah, I've just got a busy day, and it takes a good hour to walk to the vets. Obviously would usually go in the car, but the car is in the garage, so I'm trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I'm going to drop the car off at 8 or 8:30, and then I'm going to come home, which garage is at the top of the road, and then I'm going to basically walk the dog to the vets, which is about an hour's walk, just for a couple of injections, and then basically bring her back. But then hopefully by the time I come back, the car should be done at the garage. So that's kind of the plan, and I've got loads of stuff to be getting on with in the house as well this weekend. I'm working in my cellar at the moment, or basement, whatever your terminology you want to call it, and we're taking down all the wood boarding. It's only like a storage cellar, but I'm in the process of taking it all the boarding off just to get airflow in there. So yeah, that's kind of the plan, and then I'm going to reshelve it rather than shelve it on the wood boarding, which takes up a lot of airflow. There's no airflow in there, and with it being a very old Edwardian house, it needs airflow. That's for sure. It needs airflow, and it's just lacking a bit of airflow underneath, and found a couple of little things that need a bit of work. And basically when you lead to it, it's because there's no airflow or limited airflow under the house. So that's kind of what I've got to do tomorrow. But yeah, very busy day tomorrow. So yeah, I've got to try and squeeze in a second video today. If not, I've got to do it at some point over the weekend. So if you are one of my few members who do get access to the videos early, you're wondering where Monday's video is, it's just kind of bit of warning. It will appear at some point as soon as I get time. I know it's not like the best terminology, but right now I don't know when it's coming. I'm hoping to do it at some point today, but it doesn't always mean that it's going to come today. I've got 2 kids off school and college sick. Yeah, I've just got a proper hectic couple of days. I don't know if you remember me saying last week, guys, I had like a really bad throat, or, you know, doctor put it down to a chest infection, or the signs of a chest infection. My house is absolutely riddled with flu, and I might have been the start of that. So yeah, very, very hectic week at the moment. But I've managed to get a video out every day this week until possibly Monday. But at least it does give me Friday, Saturday. You know, I get, well, to be fair, I get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to get it all published and made. So it's not the end of the world. A video will come. It's just if you are a member and you are expecting it early, I just can't really basically say exactly when it's coming. Now, this field here, guys, is going to be absolutely ginormous. This is a field This is a field I want to say we've worked in before. We did a fertilizing contract in this field, if I remember rightly. So what we're going to do today, then, is that 2 headlands? No, it is not. We definitely need 2 headlands. Definitely need 2 headlands on this. We need turning room for the road. But yeah, we're gonna try and buy a piece of land today. That's the overall goal of today's episode, is to expand a little bit more. I'd kind of like to have my farm set up for when the new DLC comes out, because we will jump straight on to the DLC. The British map when it comes out. Now, I'm not 100% sure when the new one comes out, if Saxlingham will continue. I probably will, but we will probably take a break from it so that we can actually play the new DLC. You know, let's be honest, we all want to play the new DLC when it comes out, so that's the idea. Doing my best to keep this on the straight and narrow. Like I said, I'm trying to get in the habit now of using GPS. GPS probably did help us in the last episode. It was a lot quicker to get that fertilizing job done. We also didn't have any of the really bad oversprays like we usually do, so I do kind of want to get in the habit of using it. It's just remembering it's there. So if I can try and get in the habit of using it all the time, and then it hopefully should just become like second nature, really, unless you do things like that and miss. In my defense, I was looking at the speedo. Oh yeah, hectic day today, hectic day. Like I say, all these jobs that I'm trying to do at the moment is just, it benefits us in the long run the sooner I get them done. And the winter coming, it's nice just to try and get as many done now as I can. Right, 3%. I don't think we're going to do a whole headland on this, guys, because we've been doing this this headland now for quite a while, and we are, well, 4% in, so we're going to get the radio turned on, guys. We'll listen to the rock music once again. I do love the rock. It's the best genre of music on the YouTube one, to be honest, and that's kind of why we listen to it all the time. But we'll get the music playing, and we'll see what we can get done in the next couple of minutes. There we go. That is the first time lapse down. And to be honest, guys, we were only at 26%. I want it to be at least 35% right now. That means this field is it's gonna be a one job field. There's probably gonna be no buying a field in this episode at this rate, just because of how many we're gonna have to do. At least 4 time lapses. It's just, you know, just to do the quick calculations, and that's if we just did 4 time lapses without me stopping and having a little chat for a couple of minutes. That is a lot. As you've also noticed as well, guys, we are missing every other row for a little bit. It just makes the turning so much more easier to deal with than what we're currently dealing with. No, it's not exactly the quickest way of doing it, but it does work nicely. You go down there, whack it in a full lock. And then that way we'll do them 3 and we'll kind of catch up. Yeah, 27% after that time lapse. Yeah, it's not enough. And to be honest, the field doesn't get any easier to do. Now, I have thought about going across the field, but to be honest, going across the field is just as up as going this way, which is not good, to be honest. Gonna really slow us down. We're at 25.2 hours on this track now. There was something came up in the shop at 10 o'clock, guys. It wasn't really anything worth our value. It will be a Volvo, so it won't be a tractor. And even if it was, it wouldn't have much more power if it was than this. I do think it was one of the front loaders, especially with the amount of money it was. I'm going to suggest it was a not front loader, sorry, a wheel loader. We'll get to the top of here and we'll have a little look. I'll get the tractor driving back down that little slope, and then at least that way. I've done an extra row than I should have done. I should do, yeah. When I came back up that second one, I should have come back this way. Right, so if we just go onto there, we'll have a little look on here. I knew it was a wheel loader. £219,000. It would be nice to have, but again, we have no use for a wheel loader at the moment. We have to be looking at a tractor. Now, these are our options. We can either buy another field, which gives us more to do for ourselves rather than doing contracts, even though I like doing the contracts because it does give us some different options. Or we can basically put that money to a tractor and finance a tractor. But then that means we've got to pay the rest of the finance and still not have a field. So it's, yeah. I'm still kind of praying something half decent comes up in the shop, to be honest. That is still my go-to method. But all I can do at the moment, guys, is we need to put this back into a time lapse. Hopefully by the end of the next one, well, we should be at least 55%, I reckon. Right then, guys, that is that time lapse done. Right, there was a couple of weird jump cuts in there, guys. For some reason, I don't know what it is all about. Very, very strange. My recording software decided it just wanted to stop recording. Literally, it's like I'd pressed the stop button, but I hadn't. It's happened twice, so it's very, very strange. Yeah, I'll try and blend them pieces together as best as I can. The first one did take me a few seconds to realise what was going on. Second one happened just after a couple of minutes. To be honest, to be fair, actually, it might have been something fell on my desk and it might have accidentally hit my stream deck the second time. First time though was very weird. So yeah, kind of just come out the time and say just to kind of explain that, because it was a bit weird. We are definitely struggling though, guys, with getting this job done. We're doing our best to get it done in as timely fashion as possible. The problem I've got now though is because the recording went off, I'm not sure how long I've now been recording. I'm also not exactly sure how long that second time lapse is gonna be, so I do apologise if this is gonna end up being a very long episode. I normally make little notes of like the recording time, so like for example we started the first time lapse at like nearly 9 minutes. I always like write 9 minutes 20 something, and then I add 20 minutes on for a time lapse and then go from there. Obviously when it cuts out, I'm now a little bit, so I'm not 100% sure how and where we are in this video, so I won't stay too long like this. We will jump into another time because I feel like I'm massively over the time, but it was very weird how that happened. The second time was my own fault. Something moved on my desk and it caught the stream deck. Yeah, the stream deck buttons are very temperamental. It doesn't take a lot of pressure to do that, and I knocked it. I just realised what I did on the second one, but the first one was very weird. Yeah, I was just driving along and it just went off. But I have checked the end of it and it is going to be okay. I just got to kind of piece it together really, and I think you guys what's the word? Don't dislike it. That's the terminology I'm going to go with. I'm a little bit flustered now because it's kind of caught me off going off. I say, second time was my own fault. But first time was very, very strange. Right, we are now at 54%. This is turning into a hell of a job to do. And I'm kind of regretting doing this job. I think that's kind of like how this season goes, really, isn't it? Just regretting the jobs. But yeah, I know what my time is now. I know what percentage we're on, and hopefully we can get this next house done, and we'll kind of be in a lot better position. I didn't plan on doing so many time lapses, but I also didn't realise how long this field was going to take to complete. Right, there we go. That is another time lapse down, and I tell you what, guys, we are even doing 20% per time lapse. It is so slow, but you know, it is one of those jobs that is going to pay us very, very, very well indeed. I kind of wish I went across. If I had to do this field again, I would maybe go across. I don't think it would make much difference, but I do think maybe the hills are not maybe as steep. But the good thing with doing it this way is these are long sweeps going across, you know, going up and down in the middle part of this field. They've absolutely chewed through the percentage. But now we're getting to the nitty gritty bits, the little fiddly bits. That's why I did that little top corner before I came out of the time lapse, because that is gonna, you know, it took a bit longer to do that little area than I initially planned. At least in a time lapse, it won't look as slow. But I think we're going to end up working into the night on this one. It is not good, to be honest. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to be working into the night. Now, I normally miss a row, but because we're kind of getting to that stage where we're going to run out of this top part up here, I kind of want to just stay together on each row. I have to drop that down a gear manually down to 4L so we can keep the speed up. Yeah, we lose about 20% of speed going up the hill, which means, you know, if you look at it this way, for every up pass it takes 20% longer. It's the easiest way to look at it. But going across the field also had its challenges. Like I say, if you go that way, it's all downhill. If you go that way, it's all uphill, you know. But either way, we were going up and down hills or slopes, if you don't want to technically call it a hill. But yeah, it is just so... I don't want to say tedious, because we kind of knew what we were getting ourselves in for with this contract. It's just the 20% loss in speed is 20% longer to complete this job. So if half the field is 20%, you know what I mean? So yeah, gives you an idea of roughly how much longer it's taking to do the field. Overall, we're about 10% less. It's 10% slower than it could be. But this is just the brake horsepower issue. But the Merlot cannot run the cultivator. The Merlot would have been so much better on this device, but it does not have a front attachment, and this is a push cultivator, which kind of screws us in a way, because at the end of the day, yeah, we've got a more powerful machine and we still can't use it for one of the jobs we really could do with it for. So yeah, kind of a shame about that. I'll tell you what I did also notice in the shop, guys. I'll just put that onto there. We have a Mercedes truck come up in the shop. That's actually a nice vehicle. 193 grand, 18 up. You know what I mean? That's less than we've got now on our track. That would be good for running something like that around. So 150 grand will get us a truck and trailer. It's actually not a bad price in the slightest. Yeah, well, I think we'll get it to about 80%, guys, and then I think we'll go back into what I'm hopefully going to call our final time lapse. We are a little bit skewed. Part of that time lapse we were having, I don't think is going to work. I think when it corrupted out a little bit, because when you do a recording and it stops, you kind of get like a thumbnail of like the recording. That 6-minute piece, that isn't a thumbnail. It's weird, so I'm not 100% sure if there's going to be a little bit missing on that time lapse. Hopefully not. Hopefully it is manageable. Sometimes it does do this when it bugs out a little bit, and like I said, the recording software did go off on its own for some reason. So hopefully that is savable, but I won't know until we get into editing. So I'm kind of just giving you a bit of a warning. You know, would have said earlier, but I weren't sure if it was going to be savable or not. I was hoping it was maybe doing something in the background to not show me a thumbnail. So it might be there in full, it might not be. I won't know until I get into the editing side of things. Right, this is pretty much our last full length going up. So 79%, guys. It's close enough to 80. So what we'll do is hopefully this is going to be our last time lapse on this one. Editing's going to take forever as it is. So I'm kind of hoping this is going to be the last part we need to do for this field, because it's really taking its time to do, and I think we're going to be in the dark by the time we finish this contract as it is. Right, there we go, guys. That is as much as we can get done in a time lapse. I am glad we've kind of managed to get it done. Only a few % to go. It's taken about 1.5 rows now to fill 8%. We are also dropping down to a 6 miles an hour, which is technically 30% less speed than if we were going downhill. So yeah, just when you think the job couldn't get any worse, towards the end it was like, hold my beer. And yeah, it's just absolutely crippled us. Absolutely crippled us. Now 5 mile an hour. Wow. That's nearly a 50% reduction in speed. Wow. Something has come up in the shop. We do want to just check that out as well in a moment or two. And it was about £100,000. But to be honest, I do want to check it, because if it is something like a tractor with a little bit more power, because that's why this is taking so long, guys, is it is an issue with the power. Right, let's put that onto a... It is 171 brake horsepower. It's only done 7. That's what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about. We are about to buy a tractor in this episode. We will still look at a field. I at least want to put down a 10% deposit, and we will finance the hell out of that tractor. 171 brake horsepower, 7 hours worked on. Wrong button. I wanted the shop. And it's 48 months, so it's hardly done any hours for its age. That alone will do all cultivating contracts on its own. 171 brake horsepower. So we need to be looking at that. So we need at least a 10% deposit. Just want to get this field done. So yeah, we are going to buy a brand new tractor. Well, it's not a brand new. It's a brand new tractor to us. Yeah, we are going to buy a tractor, a Zetor, something I would not really have gone. Do you know what? We'll get one of them. But 100 grand, okay. There might be better options out there. We can always trade it in if we need to. Yeah, we want to put down at least a 10% deposit. This job will pretty much cover that 10%, so we might not have enough money to do the field, to buy the field and the tractor, but I think using a 10% deposit, this job alone has kind of proved we need that horsepower now. We're going into year 3 and we've still struggled for 3 years with a tractor and its horsepower. So yeah, it's definitely worth getting. Yeah, 10% minimum. Could put down 0, but I want to at least put 10%. You know, how often do you go to a car dealership or, you know, in real life and be like, oh, I'm going to put no deposit down? You know what I mean? Your payments would be, you can do it, but your payments would be extortionate. I'd like to put a 20% deposit, but that would mean we don't have enough money guaranteed for the field. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at the field we want to buy, because to be honest, if we can't afford 10% with the field, then we might as well do 20% for the tractor, and we'll get the field in the next episode. Now, I did say at the beginning of this episode we would definitely be buying a field today, but I also didn't expect a tractor to be coming up in the shop as well. So, you know, that's going to take a while to get up there. So if we were to finance this, oh, I don't have the 1 year finance. Okay, well, we could do it over 2 years, 10%. There we go. Right, we can only do 10%. I was thinking I had a different finance mod, guys. That's all. Yeah, I can't. So 2 years is £4,600 a month for the finance of said tractor. So yeah, I can live with that. And we're at 99%, guys. That is going to be this field completed. Look at that. That has been an absolute nightmare of a job. There we go. Let's just sit here. Let's just cash that contract in because we have just finished it. And let's go and get 10% on the tractor. So let's have a look. What have we got? We don't need a front loader. It already comes with sensors. That is fantastic. Wheel weights, wide tire. I would like wide tires, to be honest, because it's going to be more like a. It's not really going to be doing any field work for us just yet. So we'll go for the wide tires. We don't need a front loader. 102,687. If we finance this over the 2 years, it is £4,700 a month. Done. There she is. Look at that, guys. Absolute. Oh my god, this is fantastic. 26 miles per hour as well. I just need to do the number plate. Wow, I did not expect to be coming out with a tractor. I still want to have a quick look at the fields. I can move the tractors back off recording. I think that's how my number plates go. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Yep, That is exactly how it goes. Look at this, guys. This is absolutely fantastic. I just want to pull this out. We've got a double beacon. We've got wide tires. 170 brake. Oh my god, the power. The power this thing is showing is fantastic. Wow. Right, we got £110,000. So to end this episode, can we buy... No, we are £8,500. Well, we are £8,000 short. We could, nope, 6,000 short. Could buy that one, but yeah, it's... We're going to lose potential here on the fields. We're going to have to just take that hit from these fields. We don't really have a choice. The only other option will be to like buy field 69 and plough it out. So yeah, we're not quite in the position to buy a field today as I was hoping to, but instead we bought a tractor. Wow, absolutely brilliant. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.